Hello, this is Tom with the Tractor Rescue Ranch. I am back today working on this great big lathe. "17" Anyway, from a previous video, I pulled this three-phase motor off, and I was going to put this single-phase motor on, and that single phase is so much bigger it won't fit where the case is, which I could alter things and make it work. But I'd kind of like to stick with this three-phase motor. So this motor that was in it is a 5-horse motor, three-phase. And one of the viewers sent me a link to a video, and I will put that link up here to a guy, and I've since then watched many other videos on just using another three-phase motor as a single-phase to three-phase inverter. So I've got this wired up. I'm not going to go through the wiring with you because that video that I watched has a good diagram and explanation. I would encourage you, if you're interested in this, to go and watch that video. It was very helpful. But anyway, what you do is take this three-phase motor. So my friend Robbie gave me this motor. He bought a storage locker, the contents of a storage locker, a while back, and it had a whole bunch of motors in it, and this was one of the motors in it, and he just gave this to me. So this is a three-phase motor. This is a 7.5-horse three-phase motor, and the motor that I'm trying to get running is a 5-horse. And so that, from what my research tells me, that's going to work. So all you do is you wire your 220 into two of the three windings on this motor and plug it in to 220, and then you wire all three of those windings into your workings of your second motor. And so you get this running on the single phase, and it automatically changes it to three-phase, the power to three-phase, to run your other motor. But the only problem with doing that is it won't start this motor, so you have to spin it up. And a lot of people that I've done on the research put just a real small motor here to get this thing spinning, and once it gets spinning, you can turn that single phase on and it'll continue going, and then it'll change the power to three-phase. And I've also seen some people saying that you can just plug things in and wind this up with a rope and give it a pull rather than use that other small motor to get things spinning, because the single phase just doesn't have enough power to get the thing spinning, and once it's spinning, it works fine. So I am trying this. This is just a matter of testing things. Once I prove the concept and make sure everything's going to work, I'll go ahead and put all of this stuff back together that I took apart in the previous video, put the motor back on, put everything back together, and then I'll hardwire everything in with this so that there's just switches to flip. So I've got the test wired here, so I can just plug this in, and I'm going to just spin that and see if I can get it to start spinning. And so for right now, that secondary motor is turned off with your forward and reverse here and off in the center. So I'm going to try to give it a try and see if it works here. Okay, got these two motors mounted on a big board here, And I've got this, I'll plug it in here. So I did have this wiring hooked up, and I wanted to do it. Some people suggest that you can just wrap the pulley with a rope and get it spinning with a rope, but I couldn't get enough RPMs out of it to get it up to speed that way. And I did have, before I got things mounted up here, I got it spinning fast with this little motor, and I was able to try that big motor, and it did move on me. So I think I'm on the right track. So anyway, I'm going to get this wired into the machine now that we're all hooked up and I don't have to hold things, and hopefully we can make this thing work. So this is where it's set up right here. This is down in behind the lathe. Got nice room there. I've got it all wired and ready to try here. This is not the permanent wiring. What I want to do here eventually is get a control box up here with some breakers, and so it's just a matter of flipping switches instead of plugging things in. And then also I want to be able to flip the switch for this machine and have it wired, and then flip a switch, turn that one off, and flip a switch for this machine, so that I can use the same inverter for either machine is what my plan is here. So let's give it a try here and see what happens. That sure is noisy. I don't know if that's typical or not, but I'm going to unplug this main Okay, that quieted down quite a bit when I unhooked the single phase motor, and it's still turning, so maybe this is going to work. Well, there's proof of concept. Well, it seems to be working. Well, dang, I think I may have it here. It might be worth, at this point, it might be worth to go ahead and wire it in good and solid. So I've just got switches to flip. I just had plug-ins here that I was using to plug in at this point. So one step closer on a big machine shop going here. So thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe.